Hey moms, it's day 3. Welcome back and congratulations on making it this far. Seriously, applaud yourself for even watching the video. So, what we are going to cover today is examining and addressing changes in our current situation before we go out and find anything new. If we are in a position though where we are not doing any work right now, if we're in a position where we've lost our job or we're at home and thinking about what's next, this might not be as applicable, but still there's going to be some very good information shared. So to recap, our day 1, we really thought about getting out of your head and into your heart, addressing our limiting beliefs, and asking people that we respect some questions about ourselves in terms of our gifts, what makes us stand out. If you have not received a response, do not take that to heart. Do not think that you are not great and worthy. When I first did this, I heard back from less than half the people. And what it turns out is people need nudges. So similar to what I experience in the corporate world, sometimes I have to follow up 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get a response. What happens is people are busy and they might really intend to want to do this. But maybe they think it's more daunting than it is. And really what you can do to make it come to either the top of their inbox or the top of their texts is just basically resend it and say, hey, I want you to spend literally 3 minutes on this and quickly tell me what pops into your head for these 3 questions. Maybe you need to add like a voice text with it, so someone can hear the inflection of your voice and the sincerity of you wanting to hear from them, or you pick up the phone and call them. Sometimes we get in our own heads, and truly, it's not you, it's the other person. They're busy, and so just bring that to the top of their attention. And then yesterday we thought about what we've done to this point. We've thought about our childhood, really reflected on what brings us joy versus the things that we're good at, and beginning to think about how we want to serve the world. And today, what I want to really bring to life is this idea that we don't need to throw everything out the door. There are probably some things that you could do right now to improve the situation that you're in. For instance, I get on the phone with a candidate. Let's say I'm working on a VP of marketing role. And I basically hear that this person, they continue to do the work, they continue to produce results, they're just not getting paid enough. And so before I even go any further with that person as a candidate for the opportunity that I'm working on, I say, hold the phone. Do you like your organization? Yes. Do you like your boss? Yes. Do you really want to change jobs, or do you just want to get paid more? I really just want to get paid more. Okay, great. Let me coach you through how you do that. Because those are the bold, the scary, the courageous conversations that we need to be having before we just say, yup, I need a new job. Yup, got to find something else. We must address and resolve what's making us miserable or unhappy or feeling like we're just floundering. So here's another example. Let's say you consistently think that there's a coworker that's like squashing your ideas, or that's always taking credit, or perhaps you just don't feel like your information and your ideas are getting heard. So let's say it's a leadership meeting or a team meeting, and you don't like the direction that the group is suggesting that the company goes in. Rather than saying, I don't think this is a good idea, frame it from a positive standpoint. I fully believe, this is you pretend like this is the scenario. I fully believe in honesty and integrity. So it's really important for me to share what I'm honestly thinking here. I'm not on board with the direction we're discussing, and here's why. Okay, so compare those two. What do you think the group is going to be more responsive to? What I tend to find out when talking to people, that there's patterns that come up, and we've got to address those things first before we think something else will solve that need. So if you've heard this quote before, it's like the definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We've got to do the inner work, the reflective work, before perfect work falls in our lap. So whether that's that brave conversation with a manager, whether that's talking about what you need from a work situation. I know a lot of us are like waiting to hear what's going to happen with schools and how that could really impact what we're able to even do in the fall. What I love more than anything is to figure out what's the right messaging and positioning. And you rehearse that several times, like literally before I have a really courageous conversation. I rehearse it in my mirror, in my car, like until I really think, gosh, I'm coming off like a pro, like the way that I want to, versus just kind of shooting from the hip. Your coworkers, your boss, whoever you're working with cannot read your mind. So you must speak up, but doing it in a place from sincerity and warmth, which I know we have. We like, as females, we got that. So I'm going to link to an article from a woman that I've been following for years. Her name is Kathy Camprino. I've taken a couple of her courses, and I think she's phenomenal. And she speaks exactly on this topic. She's also got some great resources and a podcast. So if you want to do some further exploring, I'll include that. And what I think might come up, and let me know if this is you, is if money is the issue, let's have a whole like discussion about how we do that. And if anyone in the group has successfully gone in and asked for more money, how they've done that. I can certainly give you my perspective, but I'm sure that there's other people here that have done it, you know, from a good place of confidence and did their research. But also keep in mind timing and how your company is doing right now. So many companies are, now I would call it scraping by, but they're not flush with cash. And so it's this is one of those things where you've got to know what's really going on inside your company and figure out the right timing. I hope this serves you today. There's it continues to be just enormous amount of response here, whether you're commenting on the Facebook group or sending me a direct message. I really appreciate the feedback, and the week's not over. So we still have 2 more days to go, and I am wishing you a fantastic rest of the day. I fully intended to get up this morning and put on makeup and do my hair. Check it out. It's still all right. We just do it, right? The other thing that I wanted to share is, if you want others to know about this group and they're not a mom, like, that's okay. I mean, I think a lot of some of these things that we're talking about is applicable to many different situations. And there's so many different viewpoints that I want to honor that I'm just one viewpoint. There are so many others, and I really hope to also be making some additional connections in this group. So, for instance, I spoke to a gal yesterday who made the leap from a corporate job to now she's her own fractional CMO. And so basically, she's, managing her own business. And I know there's other people in this group that have done that. And so sometimes it might be great to have some others share their stories of how they've made these different leaps, because we're all in a different spot, and I don't want to assume that everyone's looking for a corporate job, because there's a lot of people who might be looking for part-time work or 5 hours a week or starting your own business or so many things. Anyway, there it is. Wishing you well.